Hi everyone, so for my video solution, I got question 10 from chapter 6, and this is divided into 3 parts, A, B, and C, so I will start with the first part. And the question was to convert these fractions into decimals using prime factorization. So to start with this one, let me just zoom this one in a bit. So the key is to use prime factorization, which is I use in each step. So these equal signs equal steps. So the goal is to convert the denominator into the power of 10, into like a denominator that equals 10, because when you have a denominator that equals 10 to the power of 10, it is way easier to convert that into a decimal. So to do that, I know that it's either I know that 2 or 5 go into 10, but luckily 2 goes into 8. So 2. And I simplified that by doing 2 times 2 times 2, and that gives me 8, and then I put the 5. And now to make this into a power of 10, I have to multiply the 3 2's by 3 5's, because that will give me 10. And what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So I do that, and then I simplify that, and that gives me 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, and then 2 times 5, because of this, 2 times 5, 2 times 5. And then I simplify that, and the numerator here gives me 625 over 10 times 10 times 10. Easy, you can see it visually here. 10 times 10 times 10. Keep simplifying that until that gives you, let me write it right here, 625 over 1000, because 10 or to the power of 3 is 1000. And now that's easy to convert to a decimal, and my answer will be 0.625. And now for B, it's pretty much the same concept, but now it's with the bigger denominator. But so I know that 5 times 5 times 5 will give me 125. So I have that here with the 2, so 2 over that, and then right off the bat 2 times 2 times 2, because they will give me 10, and I do the same to the top. And now I come back here, and then for the next step, I just simplify everything. I multiply everything together, and then that gives me 16. And then 5 times 2, this and this will give me 10 times 10 times 10. Therefore, that gives me altogether 16 over 1000. And in decimal form, that's 0.016. Now for part C, we are dealing with exponents already, but that shouldn't really scare us. So technically this equals 400, but 2 does not go into 400 equally, or 5 doesn't really go into 400 equally, like using like nice exponents. So what I did here is that I simplified to 3 over 2 over the 4th times 5 to the 2nd, but I know that I need 2 more 5's to make this into 5 over 4. That way it could be equal with 2 over 4. So I just multiplied 5 over 2 and 5 over 2. And then when I simplify that gives me 3 times 25, and then 2/4 times these two come out to 5 over 4's. And then I simplify that, and 3 times 25 gives me 75, and 2 to the 4th and 5 to the 4th give me 16 times 625. If I'm just like oversimplifying, but I'm simplifying it. And now that finally gives me 75, and then when you multiply, that's 10,000. And then to convert that, that's easy, 75. So 0.0075, and that's the answer for that.